Good morning, Brother Brian here. Saturday morning, and man, my ear, just started ringing. I'm ringing in the ear. Somebody must be talking about me. Got my Playroom coffee there going. Oh, life is good. Hope everybody's doing fine out there in the world. Picked up a couple records this week, and I figured, you know what? It's Saturday morning. I'm gonna share them with my friends, you know? There's all kinds of crazy stuff going on in the world. Trying to bring you guys some love. Show you guys some love. Went to this antique place this week. Antique mall. You know what I'm talking about, the antique malls where people set up and stuff. And I picked up some 45s. Picked this one up, the Bee Gees. I like the Bee Gees. This one here says, "Can't keep a good man down." And then on this side, "How deep is your love?" Okay, but this isn't the song that I thought it was. It's a different song. So I was kind of disappointed. And I don't really grab 45s unless there's a song on there that I really dig. You know what I'm saying? I don't buy them. I'm not a 45 guy. But if I see something like this, you got Robert Palmer here. And this has got that song, "Addicted to Love," man. You know, I'm an 80s child, so of course I like that Robert Palmer stuff. "Addicted to Love" on a 45. I played that. It sounds really nice. I picked up this one. I haven't played it yet. It's Peter Gabriel on 45. It's on the Geffen label. Needs cleaned up still. You can see how dirty it is, but it'll clean up. "Addicted to Love." Is that what this is? No, "Big Time." I'm sorry. I'm still trying to wake up here. "Big Time" on that. I think that's a nice looking 45. It'll clean up really nice. It'll be a fun little spin. I'd like to put a download on that one even. That would be a fun little download. And I see this, and I'm not a real big Paula Abdul fan, but it had the picture sleeve. It's a little bit worn and stuff, but it's got Paula Abdul on there. She's beautiful, beautiful Paula Abdul. "Forever Your Girl" and "Next to You." And it needs cleaned up, but I see that, and I was like, well, you know, these weren't at the antique mall. What did I say? I said antique mall. No, these were Goodwill. I found these at a Goodwill. So they were really cheap. And then I found this one. There's another pictured sleeve with Robert Palmer here on it. And he was, man, look at this, beautiful. You guys remember those when they had MTV and the music videos and stuff? You know. Nice looking. These are in good shape. I mean, they got some dirt on them, but if you see the condition, I mean, they're dirty. You can see the dirt on them, but they're in nice shape. I think they're going to play just fine. And so anyway, I'm going to be all over the place telling you with it. I went to Goodwill and I went to an antique mall. Okay, so I went Goodwill, antique mall, and Omega Music. And I'm going to mess that up. And it's okay if I mess it up, because I'm just a imperfect human being. Just trying to bring you some joy to your soul this Saturday morning. That's all I'm trying to do. Trying to wake up and do this. You know, I slept so good last night. You know, when I wake up in the morning and Daisy's not in the bed with me, what that means is, it means I was snoring so well. I was sleeping so sound. She had to leave. Now check this out, okay? I was at the antique place, okay? We were walking up and down the aisles. And they had, you know how the stores used to have magazine racks set up, the big giant magazine racks, and they'd have all these different magazines. As far as I know, people don't read magazines anymore. They just play on their phone all day. So all the magazine racks are at these antique malls. And I was going down through there. Now these guys, they use them to display records and different items and stuff like that on them. And I seen this magazine rack, and they had like your Dean Martin's Christmas special and, you know, Volcano Eruption album of the year type stuff. You know, stuff is just like you're really not interested in, you know. And I'm sitting there looking at this rack. You know, normally I don't even stop. I'll just drive on right on by these things. And something caught my eye, and I said, is that record really sitting there with Dean Martin's Christmas special? So I had to swerve, went over there, picked it up, and sure enough, it was it. I was like, wow, man. You know, it was an original 1968 copy. And that's what I wanted. I had a copy of this record before. I had a reissue. And I ended up giving that away as VCLT to somebody. And I wanted an original. That's why I gave mine away. I just wanted an original. And there it was. Now check this out. It was sitting right. I couldn't believe it. It was sitting in there with Dean Martin and all these other records, you know, and the United States of America. And it's not a pristine copy, but it's a nice copy. It plays really good. It's probably a good, like a G+ copy. It's got little crackles in it, but the sound is really nice. You know, it's not worn out. It's a little crackly, but it's not worn out. It's got a little peace side drawn on the Columbia label. Somebody had it, you know. And you got to figure, man, this thing's older than I am. And and if for some of you that don't know what this is a Head album, which is basically psychedelic and avant-garde type music. These guys are really good. I really enjoyed this album. It was funny. I took this album out and I cleaned it. Okay, when I got it home, I took it out and I was gonna clean it, and I was like, "Woo, man! It smelled just like marijuana." I was blown away. I was like, holy moly. But yeah, man, it was right there. It wasn't cheap. I'll tell you, I paid $35 for it, which I didn't mind spending the $35 because I was able to hold it, look at it, see what kind of condition it actually was in. And that's probably about what it's worth. It's probably worth about $35. You know, they do sell these like original copies on eBay for like $100 to $200, but this isn't one of those. But I didn't buy it to collect. I'm a listener. I'm not a collector, so I bought it. I was pretty excited about that. Now check this out. I went to Omega Music yesterday, and I was digging through there, and they had this sitting in there. And this was, check this out. This was in there, and this is the box set. Okay, this is a double album. Look at this. Let me show you. $2.99. $2.99 in 1968, 1967, whatever. It's Grand Ole Opry. Now, if you like old-time country music, okay, the Grand Ole Opry is where all the old-time country music, you know, sensations played. And this is the stars of the Grand Ole Opry. And it's got all these artists on here performing, which is incredible. I mean, you got Minnie Pearl, Kitty Wells, let's see, you got Hank Snow, Donnie West, the Carter family, Sonny James, Don Bowman, Don Gibson, the Browns, Delmore Brothers. I mean, Willie Nelson's on here. Jimmy Driftwood's on this album. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And it's funny because it says here, it's got an actual segment from the old curtain from the original Grand Ole Opry on there. And I, you know, it's just like, what? So I was like, I'm going to open it up. Open it up. And sure enough, look right there. It's a piece of the old curtain from the Grand Ole Opry. And it has this nice book. Let me pull this book out. You guys will be, for you country people, you'll be interested. It's got this book in there. And it says the stars of the Grand Ole Opry. And I won't go through this whole thing, but I want to show you this one picture right here. It's got all the artists and stuff in there. But look at here. It's Bill Monroe and Willie Nelson. Look at that. Look how old, how young. It's an old picture, but look how young they are. Bill Monroe, look at that. My goodness. Willie Nelson. Don't even look like him. And, yeah, so I'm really excited. I'll show you one more page. You know, just back when people had a lot more class. It's on RCA. But, yeah, $3. You know, it's like, oh, my goodness gracious. I love stuff like it. I'll be doing some needle drops on this record this week. Yeah, $3. And just kind of go through. I found this. I got this album. You've got this album. Everybody in the world has this album. But I picked this up. It was $7.99. It was it says VG. Okay, it says very good condition. I pulled it out. It's in great condition. It may be an upgrade to mine. It's on the Blue Fantasy. I love the Blue Fantasy. Creedence, you know. And another reason, I know somebody that's been looking for a Creedence album. Okay, so that's another reason I picked it up. So I'm going to go in there and go through my CCR and see what my copy looks like. And maybe that person will get a copy of this. And then I see this. Fleetwood Mac Rumors. I may have this or I may not, but it was, look at it's like it's a good copy. It's $4.99, and it was a 2022 reissue. And I was like, why is it so cheap? You know, it's like, tree branch just fell. But anyway, I was just curious. Why is it so cheap? I haven't played it yet. The thing probably sounds horrible. Either that or it's scratched up or something. I don't know. It does have a scratch on it. I don't know if you can see it or not. Let's see if we can get the light just right. It does have a scratch right here on it. On the Songbird, but it looks like a surface scratch. I don't know. I'm going to play it today and see why it was so cheap. $4. It's a 2022 for $4.99. And I don't know. It's a great album, though. You know, this album, it's got all the greats, you know. Dreams, Songbird. Let's see. Gold Dust Woman, you know, it's just got some fucking great tunes on it. And, I don't know. If I don't like it, I'll give it away. Now, here's what I picked up at Omega Music. And I hope you don't mind me telling you the price, because I'm kind of chintzy and cheap. They had a Diggable Planets. They had just reissued Diggable Planets. Something cold. It's got the cold on it. And, man, it's a great album. And I have the CD. And I almost bought it. But they wanted $43 for it. I was like, that's just, I can't pay that money. I can't spend $43 on Diggable Planets. Even though that I know it's a great record. It's great. You know, I'm I guess they call it thrifty. I'm a thrifty person. Anyway, I picked this one up. A Concert Live, Joan Baez, From Every Stage, which I haven't listened to this yet. It's a double album. And yeah, I paid $3 for this one as well. It's on the Monarch Record Manufacturing out of Los Angeles, LA. It's a gatefold. Open it up. That's what the inside looks like. And got the original sleeves. I just love live albums, you know. And it's on the, what label is that? A&M Silver. A&M Silver label. Double album, Joan Baez. 1976 it says there. not a record genius. I leave the stickers on mine. I don't memorize it. I don't try to memorize it. It's funny. I've got a place in my record cabinet, and it's the hippie music, you know, and that's where this will go. I'll put this right in there with the hippie music, you know. And I picked that up at Omega Music for $3, so I was pretty excited about that. You know, Omega Music, and it's not their fault, okay? I'm not dogging Omega Music, but, you know, at Omega Music, they have Diggable Planets for $42, $43, and then you can get Joe Baez there for nothing. Ronnie Bill Sapp, I picked that up. The Country Soul of Ronnie Bill Sapp. This is a double album. The gatefold, it folds out like that. It's on the Trip label. So yeah, for you guys that are the country crew, you guys know, man, the old Ronnie Millsap right there, and on the old Trip label. You know that's a good spin. A double album of Ronnie Millsap, yeah. And this is probably his older stuff, I would say. By looking at that picture, this is probably some of his earlier music. You know, and if you guys are, if you like country music and you don't know Ronnie Millsap, you need to go buy you some Ronnie Millsap. And there was this guy, I was at the antique place, and there was a guy there. He has all these records out. He's one of these guys. He goes to all the estate sales, and he brings his records to the antique mall to sell. And he had this one here, and this is on the King, the old King label. I put a needle drop on there for this week. And look at this, all the old James Brown records. This one here is I Got the Feeling. And just a killer funk album. Soul, you know, soul. I mean, this is soul. And he had $35 on this at the antique place, right? And he says, if you want to barter with the prices, he goes, just let me know. And I had this in my hand, and I says, $35. I said, can you go do a little better on this? And he goes, well, how much is on it? I said, a lot. That's what I told him. I said, it's got a lot on there. And he says, how about $15? I said, you know what? I think $15 is fair because it's on the old King label. And I really enjoy the Fantasy and the King. They just have a different sound to them. You know, and you throw them on the old tube amps and stuff, man, they just really come alive. So yeah, I got this James Brown for $15. Definitely a good album, you know. They're kind of hard to find, too. They're kind of hard to find. And he had this one. I'm a big Whitney Houston fan. This one here's Whitney. It's in fantastic condition. I mean, this thing is still in the shrink. It's got a baby picture of Whitney Houston. Her voice, man, her voice was just an incredible voice. And she's just gorgeous. It's a shame, you know, it's a shame. Money and drugs, what it'll do to you, you know. But yeah, got that one. Whitney Houston. He had 3 Whitney Houston albums. And he was overpriced on them. But this one was priced right. I think I paid like $10 for it. And it's in like brand new condition, so I grabbed it. That'll go into my Whitney Houston collection. I love Whitney's music. And then this, I'm hoping I've got this album. I'm a big John Denver fan. And I think this is an upgrade because my album, I think, is really not very good. And I got this for a couple bucks. I picked that up. And last but not least, I ordered one. I forgot to tell you, I ordered one off of eBay. Okay, and it came from Indiana. And I wanted at least one of these albums in my collection. It's Betty Jean Robinson. It's a picture of Betty Jean on the back there. I believe this album was from 1981. And it's actually signed here. It says, Belinda, Jesus loves you so much. John 14. And then it says, love, Betty Jean. And I've seen Betty Jean a couple times in real life. I've actually got to meet her and shake her hand. And she is just as sweet as the day is long. And her music, I really enjoy her music. Very sweet music as well. I mean, her music reflects her personality. And I remember one time she was up there talking while she was performing. And she says, she was talking about the old time, you know, back in the day. I think she was born in the 40s. And she was talking about when white bread, when white bread first came out, right? And she's from Kentucky, from the hills of Kentucky. And she was up there talking about somebody gave her a piece of white bread and she didn't know what to do. She says, well, what am I supposed to do with this? Because, you know, they was raised on biscuits. You know, when you're raised up in a poor family in the hills of Kentucky, you eat biscuits. You know, your mom made biscuits. And so this is a true story. She said what she did was, is she took and cut her biscuit and put a piece of white bread in the middle and ate it on a biscuit. She didn't know how to eat white bread. You know, that's just so typical. But anyway, Betty Jean Robinson, I mean, if you like gospel music, her music's wonderful. She just loved the Lord. And, you know, I met her, you know, so I've got a little bit of sentimental value on that. And I wanted to have at least one of her records in my collection. And I did a needle drop on it, and I did another one. And I'm going to probably put it Sunday morning. I'll probably release it tomorrow morning on Sunday morning. And, yeah, if you enjoy that stuff, you can listen to it. If not, then go for it. You know, listen to the Electric Prudes. They're good, too. So, you know, I'm a mixed bag of different music. I just love all kinds of music. And the more crazy this world gets, my advice to you is, turn your TV off, turn the politics off, and turn your record players on. You know what I'm saying? Hey, thanks for hanging out. This has been a long video, but I just feel relaxed. I'm just going to take my time. Y'all have a great rest of your week. I don't know when I'll be back on here, but I'll be definitely doing some needle drops, all right? God bless y'all. I'm out of here.